Positivity! Good evening, everybody! And I'm done with that bit. How we all doing? Welcome on in. I suppose if I was a daft, would I use such an annoying voice like that? Maybe I would.
It's Relativity, and here is your host ASH. The bash, it do be warm.
It do be warm, hence I have the fan over here to my left-hand side once again, trying to offer me at least a little bit of comfort in this rather warm room that has even more heat in it, because of course a PC is kicking heat out while I'm doing all this. Yay. Need that voice of Jimmy Carr's... Oh my god. Well, no. Just, I would not wish that on anyone there, Pop Ramen, at all. Welcome on in. I hope you enjoyed that game of Brain Teaser once I finally got it working again. It's because I have changed a little bit of code in my main package that I use across all of my more recent games. And that change... I was about to say that change affected that game and another warm-up game, but I believe it's affected this game as well, because I can see here the reference script unknown on this behaviour is missing, which generally means oh no. That generally means oh no. Although that's not the thing that I was expecting. What is that? That's the oh, no, that is the thing I'm expecting. Yes, that is the thing I'm expecting. And the other one I'm expecting will be on sets of prefabs. Yay! We've got to go over to Devland once again, folks, because I am an idiot. So, I need to open up the prefab because... Yeah. Oh my god. The object of type user display has been destroyed, but it's still trying to use it. Yeah. I wanted to avoid doing a dev stream tonight, but apparently it's decided to make that happen for me. Right, what is going on with this? Why has this started to just not display anything? Because... reasons. Where is the user display? Where is all of the user display? That's the good question I need to ask. Where do be the user display? Name tag. Name tag? Well, that's a new one on me. I've never seen Unity do that much of a breakage. Sure. That's broken. That's very broken. That is. Let's try that. Not with that. And I don't need to worry about avatar here, thankfully. And I need to go into debug assigning mode, because then I can go over here and do that and assign that. Saving failed. Why? Oh, because it still has the component on it despite it not showing up. Oh no, this is not good at all. This is what happens with old Unity projects. Oh, shoot. Where is it then? Where's the user display component gone? And it's going to deny all knowledge of the user display component. That's what I love to see as well. Unity just cannot handle some things properly at all, especially when you're changing things behind the scenes. User display is file ID. I'm going to actually have to manually edit the bloody prefab at this rate, and that is always very scary. So let me edit that. Let me edit that to be... I don't even know what anymore. Oh, shoot. Oh, this is... Oof. This is going to be, sketchy. This is going to be sketchy, folks. Oh, man. It's just not happy at all. I've just gotten rid of the component and it's still saying it's unhappy. How? How are you still unhappy after I did that? Why are you still unhappy after I did that? I've gotten rid of it. It doesn't exist anymore. Huh. Hello there from TV Marisol, people. Good to see you. I don't speak your language, I'm afraid, but I do appreciate the hosts over there at least offering a bit of English for our welcome. Just saw you on the quiz show category, and yes, appreciate you making the follow the back way as well. That sounds. I like a bit of Pictionary. Yeah, we might be having to bust out the Pictionary in a moment, because this is actually. This is not good. This is actually not good right now. Why on earth is the component still there when I've definitely removed it? I don't understand. We need to do that at the very least. Yes. Okay, let me save this time, which is more promising. More promising now that I was able to save. We then go to that and say the username text is that. We don't use that. And then there's also the response reveal. This needs to have a user display on it. Remove that component. And don't use chat color on text. Use the text of that. Response reveal, user display prefab is that. And ipso facto. Let's see what happens. Oh, goodness me. You speak Portuguese, but you understand some English. Oh, that is good to hear, because I really don't know much Portuguese at all. You are welcome to join in on our quiz tonight. It does have a bit of a US and nerdy skew to it, but hopefully you'll still be able to have some fun with this. Let me see. Let me try rolling the titles once again. And we'll see how it all goes. Am I seeing any warnings this time in the Unity log? No. We might be on for a goer this time. And we ignore everything that happened in the last 5 or so minutes. Good evening. How are you all doing? Welcome on into quiz night with me, Ash the Bash. I hope you enjoyed some brain teaser earlier on. You may have noticed that with brain teaser, I may have a hand in some of the words that appear rather than leaving it up to the RNG. So yeah, we may have had some Survivor stuff go on, and maybe some Diviredas as well in there, but it will still do RNG if I don't plug in any words, but it will decide, if I decide to put a word in, then that one will appear up. It's the Space Echo. Yeah, there you go.
Sam Ryder is awesome, and the last 5 minutes didn't happen. Snaps fingers.
Oh, okay, snaps fingers. Thank you. I actually can't even remember what happened in the last 5 minutes. Thank you for the 100 bits. Don't even know what that was. If you would like to play tonight's game of Relativity, written by Lingo Maniac and has been proofed by Inca, then you need to enter in this following room code, and hopefully you will show up on screen. Thank God you are showing up on screen, meaning at least the component still works in its new location. Just means on all of the other new games that I've done that have this system, I need to check that their user display still works on those. Brilliant. UYYC. That's the room code to enter in to public chat. Now, once you have entered into public chat, you can answer your questions to the bot as a whisper That's Quizbot3000 is the name of the bot. You can just click their name and whisper your answers to the bot. Alternatively, if you're on mobile or it's somewhat difficult to get to a whisper window, then you can use public chat to answer your message to answer the questions. It will just delete your message as soon as it comes in, so that it avoids spoiling potential answers to other players that are currently watching along. So preferably whisper to the bot, Quizbot3000, but you can indeed answer to public chat and it will delete your message if it is a reasonable message that it's expecting. If you've never played Relativity before, it is a game of guesstimation, a game of numbers. What we're going to be giving you is loads of different statements and questions about things you couldn't possibly know the correct answer to. But so long as you can reckon a good enough answer, then you will get good points this evening. The closer that you are to the correct answer, the more points that you can get, with a prize of total 500 per question in round 1, 1,000 in round 2, and 1,500 in round 3 per question. That is. We do start it out nice and easy in round 1. We just give you 3 options to pick from, whether the number we're talking about is lower, equal or higher. But from round 2 onwards, it becomes a little harder because you need to give me the numbers that you believe are the correct answers to each of the questions. It's something like that, not a cat. It's a number that you couldn't possibly know offhand what it is, but so long as you can reckon an answer and you do a good relative answer, then you will get yourself more and more points. Hence the name Relativity. Aha! It's almost like I'm very clever with naming games. We will get this game underway in a moment. We'll start at, 1:15, something like that. We're about maybe half a minute away from that. Yeah, 20 seconds away from that, in fact. But the lobby will remain open for the entire front half of the game. So if you join in late, if someone joins in late, you can ask them to enter in the room code UYYC, and you'll be able to join. You'll be able to join in later in the game. Ash the Bash, certified clever dick. I'm not a certified clever dick at all. I haven't been on the show. I haven't been on any variant of the show. I am not a certified clever dick. Only Topper can dole those particular certifications out. There are a total of 3 clever dicks, if memory serves right now. The one from QNL and the 2 that he has done on his own personal stream. I am not, and still will not. I don't think I'll ever be a clever dick, honestly. But there you go. Right, it's time to get this game underway. Good luck, everybody, and let's play! It's not an old show at all, Kenda. In the grand scheme of things, it's not an old show. Oh, DMC, you're joining in late, but we will bring you along. So, round 1 is called General Relativity. What we're going to do is give you a statement about a number, but you need to figure out whether that number in the statement is right or wrong. What you'll need to do, once the statement has come up, you need to tell me if you think the number in the statement is lower, equal, or higher. And if you are correct in your assessment, then you'll get yourself 500 points to give me a correct answer. You can use the words lower, equal, or higher, or you can use just the first letter, L, E, or H. You can use the word fewer, you can use the word greater, you can use the less than symbol, the equal symbol, the greater than symbol, and I think, did I add the extra option, what was the other option that was missing from last time? M. You can also use M or more for the greater as well. That's an additional option you can use. Loads of things you can use, whatever works for you, and if the answer comes in on my end, you'll see your name pop up at the top of the screen. Sometimes Windows can be a bit dodgy. You might need to send it a couple of times, but once you receive your first answer, that's the one that will lock in. Okay, good luck. Here comes. I need to actually get my questions up because I need to read factual information afterwards. Okay, here we go. First statement, should I say, is this. The Inazawa Grand Bowl in Nagoya, Japan has 116 lanes, more than any other bowling alley in the world. Now that 116, is that lower, equal or higher? That's what you need to figure out. Do you think it has fewer than 116, more than 116, or exactly 116 lanes? Okay, answers have come in. I think that last one from Tadaru and that one from Mari were a bit too late. Just be aware that we have a total of about 2 seconds grace time after the bot says time up. So get your answers in promptly. If you're struggling to see the stream in decent time, you may need to enable the low latency mode, though I'm aware that mode can also make the sounds and music do all sorts of funky stuff on Twitch, because it's sort of tries to keep up with the stream as best it can, but not always the best scenario. As always, chat is king. Okay, let's see where you've gone. Oh, that's different. That is related to the fact that they've changed the user display. So that's a bug I need to fix for next time. Well, at least you can see some names for once. That's something we haven't had before, is actual names here. So we've got 9 saying equal, 10 saying lower, and 12 saying higher. 116 lanes is a hell of a lot of lanes. Is that the correct answer? It actually is the correct answer. There are a total of 116 lanes in the Inazawa Grand Bowl in Nagoya, Japan. It opened in the public in 1972, and yeah, 116 lanes in total, which is that's just a hell of a lot of bowling to manage, a lot of lanes to oil up. Japan will Japan. I suppose so, but I didn't take Japan as being an overly bowling heavy nation. Like baseball as a sport, yeah, absolutely, and all the martial arts as sports, absolutely, but bowling? Okay, I mean, Japan's going to Japan, I suppose. 9 of you did go the right way. I could see a Daddy Gambit, a Puzzle Dad, a DMC, and a few other names there. Kenda and Flyboy also listed. That's a new thing. I will need to fix some of that code, but maybe keep the names around in a way. Just make it look a bit more presentable. Those are the words I'm trying to say. Let's just get rid of you. As simple as that. Might head off to our local round. Oh. You see, I would love to go do some bowling on the regs, because I used to do so in university. I used to go to do bowling on a weekly basis, because there was a bowling club at university, and you could do £1 per game. Absolutely amazing. Ain't no chance that I'm going to be getting £1 per game where at my nearest bowling alley, which will be either the Lane 7 in the centre of town, or it's the Hollywood Bowl, which is in Centertainment. Those are going to be like £7 or £8 a game at a minimum. I still have my bowling shoes and my bowling balls, so there won't be additional highs for those, but oh my god, am I not paying that much for some bowling these days. Anyway, we'll move on to question number 2, because you're not here for my opinions. With a lineup including Sublime, Deftones, and No Doubt, the first Warped Tour was held in 1999. The year we're looking at here, lower, equal, or higher? Whose average score is lower than 100? Raise your hand, says Kenda. Do you all know a little thing about at my second year of university, while part of the bowling club, we entered into the sort of the British University's bowling tournament, or one of the tournaments, and I averaged less than 100 over 9 games. Despite having my own ball and everything. It was one of the worst 9 games I'd ever played of bowling. I usually could do about 140 plus per game, but those 9 games were not good. Were very not good at all. And I swiftly forget that even existed. So we'll put that away. Let's see where you gone with on this question, though. The Warped Tour. Ooh, only 3 believing that's the right year. 9 believe it was higher, meaning later than 1999. And 19 believe the number is lower, as in earlier than 1999. Well, I can tell you, the first stop of the tour was Boise, Idaho. And it was held in the year 1995. 4 years earlier on, it was the correct answer, and 19 of you going the right way for 500 points. Very well done. It was higher. The correct answer was 3 towns. Yeah, I think that's that. There's a reason Lingo wrote the questions in such a way to put brackets around the salient information so that we couldn't mess up with things like that. But yes, 1995 was the correct answer looking for there, which was lower. Get warped. Okay, moving on to question number 3, statement number 3. Have a look at this. The 2023 Major League Rugby season saw a total of 12 participating teams, with the Chicago Hounds being the newest. Lower, equal, or higher? Yeah, we learned recently on one of the streams that there is such a thing as the Major League Rugby over in presumably the States. There's also, of course, the Rugby World Cup happening either starting tonight or tomorrow. No, it is indeed tonight because it's currently France versus New Zealand, and New Zealand have already scored a try and converted. So it's looking good for the hosts. Let's go and see where you gone. So, 17 of you believe higher than 12 teams. 8 believe that's the right number, and 4 believe fewer than 12 teams in Major League Rugby. I don't know why I struggled saying those words in that order, but apparently I did. Major League Rugby. It's just, I guess I'm not familiar with it as much. So, 17 believe higher. Was it higher? No, exactly 12. That was the correct answer to look for there. A total of 12 participating teams. The MLR's first season was actually in 2018. So this is their 6th year running from the sounds of things, with a total of 12 teams. So well done to just 8 of you going the right way. Get yourself 500 points for that as I focus on the right window. Alas, the US didn't qualify for Rugby World Cup, therefore fewer Americans will give a ruck for the tournament. Good joke. Good joke. I am in a very rugby mode. Not necessarily to watch it, but I am in a rugby mode because, for those that don't know, in my professional world, I do mobile phone game development, and one of the ones we do is Rugby Nations 24, which has now been officially launched on Android and iOS. So if you feel like you want to while away some time playing some rugby games on a mobile phone, absolutely go and have a download of Rugby Nations 24. Definitely not a plug, but hey, pays the bills. Moving on then to question number 4 of 6 in this round. Have a look at this one. Who was talking about some numbers earlier? There are 168 prime numbers between 1 and 1000. Lower, equal, or higher? Well, surely any Americans with a build to play hand egg would be more likely to play armoured hand egg. Maybe K-Dubs, maybe. Very different rules, though. Very different rules. Like with rugby, you can't pass forward. Try and imagine doing American football where you can't throw the ball forwards. You can throw along the line and behind the line, but you can't throw forwards. Can you imagine such a game? Kind of crazy, right? And yet somehow rugby can achieve it. Just saying. So yeah, we were talking some numbers earlier. I think someone was saying the 200 and something Fibonacci number. But no, we're testing your knowledge of prime numbers here. 168 between 1 and 1000? What do you think? So 15 believe higher than 168, so more than that. 3 believe that is the right number, and 11 believe there are fewer than 168 prime numbers. Well, I can tell you that the correct answer is... You're not going to believe this. It's equal. 168 prime numbers exactly between 1 and 1000, with the 168th prime being 997. The next prime along, 169th, yes, nice. That would be the number 1009. So yes, there are a total of 168 primes between that range. NASA, DMC, and Bassoonist, the only ones having the trust of going down the middle once again for Lingo Maniac. So well done to those three, getting 500 points. As someone who participates in a lot of scrums, I'll say this: for the love of God, please no. Oh my god. I mean, I'm involved in many a scrums. It's a very different kind of scrum, but I definitely am. And well, actually, we don't do them in the more traditional sense. We sort of do Scrum Light as a sort of development methodology. It's not strictly Scrum, but it's also not strictly Kanban, and it's not strictly Waterfall. It's kind of just story points. Yeah, we do story points and that kind of thing, but we're not nearly as heavily bound by the rules of Scrum, as it were. The definition of done. But yeah, we kind of do, but just nowhere near as rigidly, because there's not many of us in the company. We did before, when there were about 50 of us in the company. We were very rigidly on scrum mastering and that kind of stuff, but definitely not now, because it's not necessary. Right, 2 more questions in this round. We are definitely waffling here. Statement number 5, have a look at this. Oh. According to Genesis 5:5, Adam lived until the ripe old age of 930? Lower equal or higher? According to Genesis 5:5, obviously the tome of all perfect knowledge, Adam lived until the ripe old age of 930. Huh? Who's dealing with the census back then? Who's been dealing with the census? Unless somehow we skipped 1,000 years somewhere in the history of our life. I don't know. Where's Ben? I don't know. The Bible just gets weirder and weirder. Well, well, we'll see about that. Let's see where you've gone. So 15 rightly believe it's lower than 930. I mean, rightly in certainly how I would feel. 7 believe older, even still, than 930. That's just ridiculous. And 7 have gone to the ways of trusting the numbers. And who cares? Yeah, you need to trust the numbers. 930 years. Wow, what was he eating? I have no idea, Lingo. But I can find you 5-5. Here we go. Reciting 5-5 in its entirety. The whole lifetime of Adam was 930 years. Then he died. It's a great 2-sentence structure, that is. Two sentence horror. Well done to 7 of you for unpicking the age of Adam being 930 years old. Everyone died. The end. Copy and paste error. I mean, it could be. Who knows? The Bible's been around for a few thousand years. It could be a couple of copy-paste errors at this point. Anyway, well, one final question in this round, and then a little bit of information reveal as well, for your just for your information. Take a look at this. As of August 2023, a total of 8 people have walked on the moon. Lower, equal, or higher? As of August 2023, a total of 12 people, or 8 people, have walked on the moon. Whoops! That's what happens when I read the wrong sheet. Hopefully, that didn't spoil the answer for too many people. Oh, why do I do these things? Let's see what you played. Read the right question, Sussy Cat. Read the right question, not the wrong question. So 70 of you say lower, 4 say equal, and 70 say higher. Well, you already know because I already said it. Yeah, it's 12. Why do I do these things, honestly? So the most recent people to do so are Eugenie Cernan and Harrison H. Smith from the Apollo 17 mission in 1972. You trusted the numbers. Unfortunately, that time you didn't want to trust the numbers. And just so you're aware, folks out there, that you're thinking, oh, Lingo's would be doing a lot of mind games with lots of down the middle. Actually, Lingo rolled 6 virtual D6s to generate the correct answers, being 0, 1, 2 for lower, equal, higher. And basically divided the D6 up so that 1 and 2 meant lower, 3 and 4 meant equal, and 5 and 6 meant higher. And they came up 4, 1, 3, 4, 3, 6. So you use the dice, 6 dice, to determine the actual answers that will come up and then write questions around that. So absolutely unbiased here. That's just how it all happened. That is the end of round number 1. Let's have a look at the leaderboard. D3's answer's common, but we are in a virtual world. We do say 6 virtual D6s, so you could have just done a virtual D3 at that point. Anyway, at the end of round number 1, Bassunis is in the lead, 5 of 6 with 2,500. Then Natter, 4 of 6 on 2,000. Quite a few on 1,500, quite a few on 1,000. Mr. Vertigo, KS, BC and Diamond Ninja on 500, and a few yet to get off the mark, or they may have disappeared. Either or. Still got plenty of game at hand as we move on into round number 2, which is range relativity. So in this round, we're going to give you an actual question, and you need to give me a numerical response. Something of the ilk of like 50 or 3,456,912. Just random numbers off the top of my head. Give me an answer in time, and if you are the closest to the correct answer, you will get more points. If you can hit absolutely on the nose, you can get the maximum of 1,000. And then scoring is relative based on everybody else's answers. Whoever is furthest away, they score 0. Right. You're all ready. I think I'm ready, because I'm definitely ready here with this drink. That has actually nothing to do with this drink, although it's kind of not. No, it's related to the drink, just unfortunately not the right brand. Let's put it that way. In the UK and US, how many grams of sugar are in a 20 fluid ounce, that's 591 milliliter bottle of Coca-Cola? Answer between 0 and 100 grams. What's that I saw there? No. Give you a bit more time on this round as well. In the UK and US, how many grams of sugar are in 20 fluid ounces? That's equivalent to 591 millilitres of bottle of Coca-Cola. Coke is heavy on the sugar. It is indeed, Kenda. But have you seen Starbucks' sugar content sometimes? Kind of crazy, that is. And you've also got the caffeine involved in that. Then you got like monster drinks. That's even worse. Anyway, let's see where you've gone. So we have a minimum guess of 4 grams from Ali, 12 from Tipster and Silent Marine. We go up to the midpoint 50 with AB Me, 59 from Natter and Kenda. Biggest guess we've got is K-Jars with 89 grams of sugar. God, that's a lot of sugar. Well, our standard bottle sizes here in the UK are 500 milliliter, and I think you do actually have those over in the States, but you also have, because of course you do, you have your stupid fluid ounces over there. You have a 20 fluid ounce bottle, which is the one that we standard use in like vending machines and such like. And the numbers are roughly the same across the UK and US, though of course the source of the sugar is slightly different. Correct answer is 65 grams. Sonic Elwood with the first on-the-nose guess this evening, getting the full 1,000 points for that guess. Very well done, Sonic. Then we got Jake and Opsy, just a couple steps away, 951 points. And then Nodakat and Tadaru, a few more steps away, 934 points for that guess. Yes, 65 grams of sugar in one 591 milliliter bottle of Coca-Cola. Just to put that into perspective, the FDA recommends limiting added sugar intake to just 50 grams per day. And the NHS, just for some balance on the UK side of things, they recommend a limit of 30 grams a day. Yeah, it's not good for you. It's not good for you. Considering that it's got 65 grams of sugar in, that's two entire days worth of sugar, according to the NHS. So, Diet Coke. Then you've got aspartame to deal with. Hence Coke Zero. They've still got problems as well. All sodas explode the rate. Oh, Pepsi Max. Yeah, you still got a problem with aspartame in that one. But well done, Sonic Elwood, with the best guess, getting the full 1,000 points. No wonder the government are in a war against the sugar. Yeah, very much so, yeah. We have the land of the sugar tax here in the UK, where your Cokes and various high sugar content drinks are priced higher with a tax levy. Though with meal deals and such like, that kind of becomes a moot point. Like you go to Tesco and get the meal deal with full fat Pepsi, and it's the same price. It's like, well, why bother with a sugar tax when you could just work around it with a meal deal? Anyway, moving on to question number 2, which we are looking for a year here, folks. So I'll give you that. It's going to be a year with 4 digits in. The question tells you as well. In what year was the Suez Canal completed? Answer between 1800 and 2000. So Tesco don't have to play by the same rules as McDonald's. I think it's more a case of McDonald's are just saving face by just adding the extra tax on top. I guess with Tesco they may be just absorbing the sugar tax cost within the meal deal price. I don't know. I don't know nearly as much about how the law has been written on that regard. But I can easily get a full fat bottle of Pepsi or Cola with my meal deal, and it'd be exactly the same price as if I were to get a Diet Coke or a Pepsi Max or anything else that isn't on the high tax rates for the sugar. It's weird, but apparently that's how it works. Okay, let's see where you've gone on this one. Ooh, somewhere in the middle, with the lowest guess of 1836 from Pop Ramen, 1840 from Mark. We've got some 69s, 1869 from Tadaro, Flyboy and Ryan, 1889 from Opsy, and biggest guess we've got is Suddycat, 1976. Pepsi for TV game. Pepsi Man! Let's see what the correct answer is, shall we? 1869, and that's now 2 questions in a row where we've got on the nose guesses. Sus. 3 getting it, no doubt. Tadaro, Flyboy and Ryan. Oh my god. I mean, we're just getting all the perfect guesses tonight, apparently. Well done to you 3 getting the full 1,000. Then Mr. Vertigo, just a step away, 963. Cetra, then not too far away, 944. Sonic, 897. Suddycat, unfortunately, the furthest away, getting nothing for that. In what year was Suez Canal completed? Was that? Because I have no further information. I have no further information. There we go. Right. We'll put that one away. And we move on to question number 3. Now, if we get a nose hit on this one, I am going to start getting worried about things. I really am. Let's have a look. Question number 3. Of the 195 states that have ratified the World Heritage Convention, how many of them have at least one UNESCO World Heritage Site? Answer between 0 and 195. The whole premise of this game is you're not supposed to know the exact answer, but you're supposed to reckon an answer. And I think the best game we've had a total of 3 nose hits in one game. With one of them being... We've had one particularly good one, with the special relativity, Ralph getting the Pac-Man thing absolutely on the nose. But that's That's good niche knowledge. Well, let's see. If the answer is a 69 or a 420 in it, okay, fair enough. If it's got a 69 in it, then you're probably going to go for it. Were you not the only one? Was there someone else as well? I can't remember, but I know definitely you had it, Ralph. Because you also exclaimed in chat about it. Wasn't Claire right too? Was it Claire as well? Possibly. That also makes sense with Claire being one of the data wizards from Only Connect. So it all adds up. Oh yeah, by average, Kenda, absolutely, we're going to be hitting the bullseye. It's just seeing it already twice in a row starts to ring alarm bells. It's a bit weird. I don't know. Let's just see where we've gone. So we've got guesses as low as 23 from Tadaru, 37 from Ali and Milk. We have, there's all the 69s. We've got 5 69s from BC, Sunnycat, Mr. Vertigo, Pozdan, and Diamond Ninja. Biggest guess we've got is Sonic going with 195, the maximum answer it could be. There's 13 more questions in the game counting this one. There are still quite a few questions to get through. We shall see. Correct answer we're looking for is... 167 was the correct answer. And not a single soul next to it this time, so... phew, the game still works. The whole premise of not being able to know the answer still works. Kenda was the closest, getting 882. Then Flyboy next best, 847. And then Sonic, 806 points for that guess. Tadara, unfortunately, the furthest away this time, getting absolutely nothing. Yeah, it's just like... You know, have I broken this entire game structure or not? No, thankfully, it does still exist. I knew that, but didn't want you to be sus, so went 99 lower. Right. Okay, then. Here we go, folks. We shall continue on to question number 4, which is the following. According to the National Institute of Mental Health, how many US adults out of every 1,000 have some sort of mental illness? Answer between 0 and 1,000. The NIMH, National Institute of Mental Health. And that's time. I mean, I suppose you could work it like that, Mark. Do a percentage and then times it by 10. I suppose you could do it that way around. This includes ASD, right, you say? Don't know. Doesn't say on my factual information, but I can quickly look at the link, maybe. Any mental illness, AMI, serious mental illness, SMI, is counted from the sounds of things. And I'm not going to get too far into that, otherwise I'll be taking forever. I imagine it probably will be. Okay, let's see where you have answered. So, lowest guess we've got is Opsy with 120 of every 1,000. Milk with 125. KS with 211. Ralph and Diamond Ninja 222. We've got Miss Vertigo, Sunnycat 420. Topper with a 444. Biggest guess we've got is Ryan with 700. Alright. Let's find out. The correct answer is... No one touching the upper third of the slide. 228 was the correct answer this time. Ralph and Diamond Ninja just 6 off from the correct answer, getting 987 points for that. And then KS next best 964, and then it was AB Me next best with 958. Very well done to you all. Knew it was about 1 in 5, so yeah, that gets you to about there, 20%, 220 in every 1,000. Yeah, that's about right. So, put that one away. And we've got one final question in this particular round, and the question is this. How many episodes are there of the TV series The Sopranos? That's between 0 and 228. Callbacks. And that's time. Speaking from Lingo's pack here, he lifted 228 from the previous question because one of the key plot points of the series is Tony Soprano's struggles with his mental health. So that is why that number is there. But were there as many as 228 episodes? Let's see what you think. Okay, mostly somewhat in the middle third, and then a couple of stragglers. Topper with the lowest guess of 32 episodes. Then Sonic Elwood with 60. We've got 3 with 96, 2 on 100, 2 on 144. Biggest guess we've got is Tipster with 198 episodes of The Sopranos. You've vastly overestimated how long it ran for, says Tipster. How long did you think it ran for? How long did you think it ran for, Tip? I still haven't actually seen a single episode of The Sopranos, so I wouldn't really know. Well, either way, 10 years. Yeah, I didn't think it was that long. But I could be wrong. Anyway, the correct answer is... 86 was the correct answer. Just one off for Ryan and 666 there. Very well done with that guess. Getting 991 points for that. Then Opsy next best 964. Then ABMe 920 with 4 players getting 911 points below that. Milk, Flyboy, Kamikaze and DMC. Well done to all of you getting some points. Unfortunately, Tipster, your guess was the furthest away, meaning you're scoring nothing there. We'll put that away. That is the end of round number 2. Let's have a look at the leaderboard, see where everybody stands. Into pole position goes Kenda with a score of 5934. Then it's Sonic Elwood 5924, just 10 points below. Then Flyboy on 5708. Then Bassoonist 5405. Opsy in 5th on 5332. Nata slipped down to 6th place but is still in the top 6 on 4620. The reminder, at the end of the next round, round number 3, we will be looking at the top 6 players to head on into our final round called Special Relativity. But there's loads of points on offer in this round, round number 3, which we of course call Social Relativity. Yes, they can, Brother Dan. Yes, they can. So, much like round 2, you're giving me a numerical answer to the question. However, once we have logged all your answers, we will split you up into 3 groups. Equally sized groups along the slide, and then we will reveal where the answer lies. Only those in the scoring zone will actually get any points. So about a third of you are going to score points, and the other 2/3 will get absolutely nothing. That also means you could be just one away from the correct answer and get absolutely nothing if you happen to be in the wrong scoring zone. Only way to get guaranteed points is to get it absolutely on the nose for 1,500 points, going all the way down to 500 if you are still in the scoring zone but the first away in that zone. Okay, if you're ready, here comes question number 1 of the round. According to UN estimates, in what year did the world's population reach 1 billion? Answer between 1000 and 2000. In what year did the world's population reach 1 billion? And that there is time. What are we at now? Is it 8 billion that we're at right now? So, I mean, can't have been that far away. 1 billion can't have been that far away if we're at 8 billion right now. Let's have a look and see where you've gone. Yeah, so Shadowmane with the lowest guess of 1296, then Suddy Cat at 1500, DMC with 1567. We have got Mr. Vertigo on 1800. We've got BC and Bassoonist and Topper on 1850. Natter and Kenda with 1 year shy of 1900 at 1899. Our biggest guess is Another Cat on 1978. Now, you can see where this is going to be coming, folks, because we now need to split you up into 3 equally sized groups. There is the squeeze. That is a big old blue zone. That from 1000 all the way up to the year 1788. If the answer is in that zone, then that blue zone will score points. Green zone is from 1788 up to 1899. Oh, hey! Natter and Kenda will come to you in a moment. And then the red zone is from 1899 all the way up to the maximum of 2000. Now, let's go back to those two named there, Natter and Kenda. You are actually in the yellow colour there, meaning you're on the edge of both green and red. What that means for you, and only you two, is if the correct answer is either in green or in red, then you will score some points. Obviously, the closer you are, the more points you get, but if it's in blue for you two, you will get absolutely nothing. What's the correct answer? $1804, and Ryan with another hit on the nose. 1,500 for that guess. Well done, Ryan. And then Tipster very close there, 1468. Then Mr. Vertigo pretty close as well, 1458. Natter and Kenda. It's a good thing you're on the edge between green and red, isn't it? Because you happen to be in the green zone, getting yourself 500 points. You are the furthest away in that zone, but it at least gets you 500 points. Whereas Mark, Abimi, and Ralph, presumably only just a few years away in the blue zone, nothing scores for blue, meaning you get absolutely nothing. So any further information on that? No, nothing else to talk about on that particular question. Though, let's move on to a different question entirely. Question number 2 is this. How many pixels did the very first iPhone's screen have? Answer between 0 and 1 million pixels. Well, we had a question of this ilk before, with a pack from Oni, I believe, talking about the number of pixels on a Nokia 3310, the original one. But this time we are talking about the first iPhone. How many pixels on the very first iPhone? Now this one, I reckon if you've got good enough knowledge and good enough maths, you will be able to hit this on the nose, no problem. I have faith that people can get this one right. Because the great thing about old iPhones, not new ones because they're stupid, but the good thing about old iPhones and old Android phones is that the screen sizes were pretty standard. They all had a very similar kind of numerical structure to them, which was very nice to develop with. And then they just went and spoilt it all by doing something stupid like ultra widescreen and curved edges and retina and oh god, it's just ridiculous now. Let's see where you've gone. So, smallest guess we've got is Suddy Cat with 1,500 pixels. Then Opsy with 10,000. It's a big jump to start with. We've got Miss Vertigo on 100,000. Jake on 180,000. Natter and Kamikaze with 256,000. Puzzle Dad's doing the 2569 with a double O on the end. Tadara's doing a 269696. KS with 300,000. Biggest guess we've got is Mark on 800,000 pixels. So, let's split you up into 3 groups. So, we've got the blue zone going from 0 up to 253,000. Green from that up to 640,000. And then red from that up to the million. Meaning, Tipster and Sonic Elwood, you are on the edge between green and red, meaning if either green or red scores, and that's quite a wide margin of error here, then you're going to be scoring some points. But it could be in blue. Correct answer is... and in blue it goes, 153,600, with Milk saying exactly the right resolution, 320 by 480. That was the resolution of the first iPhone. Where you compare that, though, to the iPhone 14 Pro Max, that has a resolution of, if we're doing it in the same orientation, 1290 by 2796. Yuck. So, well done to Kenda, the closest guest there in the blue zone, getting 1,458 for that. Then Jake, 1,326. Then Milk, 1,279. And Mr. Vertigo, 1,148. With Sooty Cat being the furthest away, but still scoring points. Very well done there. Yeah, 2796 is such a stupid resolution number to have. And 1290 as well. Just doesn't divide well. It's not, you know, it doesn't... I mean, obviously it divides by 2 and 5. But it's just... Why? Why not just 2160? I mean, that's a different question as to why that couldn't just be like, you know, why couldn't that have been 2000? And the other resolution could have been 1000. But, yeah. Mobile's gonna mobile, yo. Everything should just be square. Let's just revert to the BlackBerry way of thinking. Yeah, let's just make everything square. No, God, that's just the worst. Or at least rectangular. I mean, I like my S23. I really do like my S23. But the resolutions are so stupid. They really are. Okay. Moving on to question number 3. But what is a rectangle? Vsauce music plays in the background. Question number 3 is this. How many seconds did Felix Baumgartner spend in freefall during his Red Bull Stratos jump on the 14th of October 2012? Yes, it was that long ago. Answer between 0 and 1,000 seconds. God, it's been such a long time. But what is a rectangle but a miserable bunch of secrets? I see you there, Ralph. One of these aspect ratios is the traitor. Oh man. The thing is though, at work I have an ultra wide monitor alongside a 1440p monitor. I really do like the ultra wide monitor despite the aspect being completely just non 4:3 or non 16:9. It still works great. I can't complain. But mobile phone resolutions are stupid. Anyway, where are we going on this one? So, Swart's guess we've got is 666 with a guess of 2 minutes or 120 seconds. Ryan and Silent Ring go for 3 minutes or 180 seconds. Tips has got for 220. Tazaro with 269. Pop Ramen and Basunis go for 5 minutes with 300 seconds. BC and Kenda go for 500 seconds. This is your 500th second. Mark and Amy go for 10 minutes at 600 seconds. And Milk going for the longest duration at 800 seconds. Well, let's split you up into 3 groups. Ooh, those don't divide quite nicely. So blue zone is from 0 up to 314 seconds, so just over 5 minutes. Green is from 314. I suppose it's kind of pi. From that up to 584 seconds, so just shy of 10 minutes. And then red is from there up to 1,000. Yeah, I think Mark and Amy were hoping for a bit of edge case scenario here so they can score if it was green or red. But no, they are solidly in the red zone here. Let's find out what the correct answer is. 260 seconds. Tadaro only off by 9 seconds with that guess, with a score of 14.36. Then Natter 13.07. Then Pop Ramen, Basunis and Tipster next best at 12.14. With Mark saying, yeah, it's a 4:20, yo. Yeah, 4 minutes and 20 seconds. Insert your own joke here. So well done, Tadaro, with the best guess. 666 with the furthest away, but still in the scoring zone guess of 500. Everybody else, unfortunately, scoring nothing. You were surprised by this when I wrote this question, thought it would have been longer. Well, that's the actual free fall, though, because then he would have opened his parachute once he regained consciousness to do that. I think that's right, anyway. Yeah, but yeah, 2012. Bloody hell's a long time ago. Basically 13 years ago now. That's ridiculous. Anyway, we've got 2 more questions in this round. Good luck, everybody. Here comes the next question. Everyone. Speaking of Pac-Man, what is the highest possible score that you can have at the end of level 1 of Pac-Man? And it's between 0 and 20,000. There's time. So just remind us, Ralph, what's the number for the for the other Pac-Man question? Because I'm sure you'll have it on speed dial from your memory. There you go. So the other Pac-Man score, 3,333,360. You can see we can't get up to that on this one. We've got a maximum of 20,000 on the slide here. So let's see where you've gone here. If you can max out the game of Pac-Man on level 1, what is going to be the total? Well, Sonic believes that's 1620, Milk 1800, Ryan 3333, Puzzledan, Ralph and DMC going with an even 10,000, Cetra's going for 12,240, Mr. Vertigo just going for 12345. We've got Pop Ramen 12,8. Bassoonist and Mark for 14,000, Tipster with 15,000, biggest guess is Topper with a 19,876, going with some more descending digits there, but with a 1 in front of it. So let's find out. The correct answer is... Oh, sorry. Of course, I need to reveal the divisions. And we do have an edge case. Puzzledown, Ralph and DMC. You are on the edge of both blue and green, meaning both are scoring zones for you. There is not a edge case though on green and red. That will be red from 13,595 up to the maximum, green from 10k up to 13,595. Let's find out. The correct answer is... $14,800. Tipster only off by 200 points, getting themselves 1461 for that guess. Then Shadowmane 1433 for that guess. Mark and Basudis, you were absolutely right, Mark. You were very good on that guess. 1342. Then it was Natter 1313. So if you do the maths on this, there's 240 dots, each worth 10. That's a total of 2,400. The power pellets, there's 4 of those times 50 for each of those. That's another 200. The ghosts, if you can get all of the ghosts eliminated in one sitting, then they increase in value for each one, and then times that by 4 for each of the power pellets. So that's 4 lots of 200 plus 400 plus 800 is 1,600, means a total of 12,000. And then the cherries that you can get 2 times 100 for those is 200. That is all of the math on that. So well done for Tipster getting the closest guess, only off by 200 of the Pac-Man points. To put that away, of course I play Pac-Man every day, says Ryan. One final question left in this round. Good luck, folks. It's time to get the shrug emojis out again. As of Unicode 15.0, the latest standard as of September of 2022, how many different emoji symbols are there? Answer between 0 and 10,000. Yeah, we're due an update. 15.1 is due to be released in September of this year. But I don't think it's happened just yet. So we are still on the 15.0 standard. I'm just curious to see what is on Unicode 15.1. What is on the proposal for Unicode 15.1 emoji? 118 provisional emoji to be added, including the phoenix bird, a lime, a broken chain, head shaking horizontally and vertically, and various other combinations from those. Well, there you go. Some interesting information. Yes, you're going to get a lime, which, by the way, that's a combination emoji of lemon plus green. Yes, lemon plus green equals lime. Yeah, you can put that in your Kuiper. Yeah, there you go. Yes, it is Sonic Marine. It absolutely is. It's a coloured lemon. Lemon plus green equals lime. Don't know what happens if you put with orange, but I think we already have an orange emoji. Let's see where you've gone. I have no idea about grapefruit. Pop Ramen with the lowest guess of 1,200. Kenda with 1,375. We've got, jumping up a bit, Ralph and Tipster on 4,000. Mark and Ryan, 5,000. Shadowmane, 6,600. Cetra with all the sixes. Sonicat, 666. Flyboy with a meme, 6,969. And Topper is just going with the descending numbers of 9,876. Let's split you up into 3 groups. Can't wait to have the person holding lime and shaking their head no emoji. Yeah, they do start combining things a bit more and more, don't they? So we do have an edge case on blue and green again for Opsy and ABMe at 3,500. So blue is from 0 to 3,500. Green from that up to 5,515. And red from that up to the big old 10,000. When are they due to come out? I actually don't know the date. But it is due for September 2023. So, let's find out. The correct answer is... Oh, hello! Haven't seen one of you in a while. Let's go and say goodbye to you. 3664 was the correct answer. We're looking for Natter. What a guess that was! Only off by a couple, getting themselves 1491 for that guess. Then Sonic Elwood 1460, then Opsy 1398, along with AB Me. Danny, your guess was the furthest away, but in the scoring zone, so still gets 500 for that guess. Whew, goodness me. So yes, Unicode 15.1 is scheduled to be released in September 23, and this can be updated if needed, but it is not needed because we've just asked the question. 3664 was the correct answer. Nats are doing the best. They were in the top 6 at the end of round number 2. Getting a lot of points like that is going to help bolster them back up, hopefully, into the top 6. But let's see. Here comes the final leaderboard. Who is in the top 6? Who's going to be going forward to Special Relativity? At the back of the pack, we've got people joining in early and not getting some answers in. Then we've got K-Jarves, Nonacat, Ali Law, 666, Danny Gambit, Puzzle and Diamond Ninja, Kamikaze and Sooty Cat, Topper and KS, DMC and Pop Ramen, Ryan and Flyboy, Ralph and Shadowmane, Abe and Silent Marine, Cetra and Mark, Jake and Tadaru, Milk and Mr. Vertico. Just missing out is BC. Our top 6 are Sonic Elwood, Tipster, Kenda, Opsimaths, Bassoonist, and top of the board, Natter. Well, that 1400 definitely helps you out, Natter. Up to the top of the leaderboard you go. So, that is our top 6. Natter, Bassoonist, Opsy, Kenda, Tipster, and Sonic Elwood. Good luck to you, as we will be advancing to that in a moment. Everybody else, that is the end of the game for you, but we have just converted all of those points into doots. And if you want to check your doots, you can go to the website doots.atbweb.co.uk to see where you are ranked with all your doots. And we will do a draw at the end of the season based on the number of doots you've got, and you get yourself some lovely little prizes and things like that. So, Natter, Bassoonist, Opsy, Kenda, Tipster and Sonic Elwood, it's time for the final round. It's Special Relativity. So, Answer like you have been doing in rounds 2 and 3. However, this time we are not giving you a range. And it's just this simple. Whoever is furthest away on the question, they get eliminated. That's all we are looking at now. Whoever is furthest away from the correct answer on the question will get themselves eliminated. Though there are still some prizes for this top 6 here, ranging in value from a bonus 10,000 up to a bonus 100,000 dutes if you can survive all of the way. Okay, good luck, folks. Here comes... Ooh, hello. Here comes the first question. Louis XIV of France holds the record for longest reign as monarch of a sovereign state. For how many days did he sit on the throne? Answer now. We've already got an answer for Opsy. Are we expecting one more answer? Oh, oh man! You took that all the way to the end there, Sonic. Just be aware, you did lock in after it said time up, but within the 2-second grace. Next time, you might not get your answer in time. You might be caught out. Just be aware. So Opsy said, didn't finish reading the question and went for years. Well, we're going to reveal you in the order that you answered, so we are going to be seeing Opsy's first. So, imagine that this would be the number of years rather than the number of days, but unfortunately we can't do the calculation for you, so we'll just have to see what it is. You said 72. So you say 72 years, but we have to accept your answer as 72 days. The second answer was Kenda with 25,000. So you take the different sides. Third answer that came through was Nata with 16,785. You're down the middle, and you are safe. Huh, we didn't see the animation. That's weird. I guess that's part of the bug of my user display thing. Next, Tipster said the same as Kenda. Means Kenda, you're safe because you answered earlier. Tipster is now taking that side. Next guess was Bassoonist, going bigger, 30,000 for that. Tipster, you're safe for elimination. Bassoonist takes the side now. And the last guess, Sonic with 2134, much smaller guess there. You are safe because you're down the middle between 72 and 30,000. So let's have a look at the division point. 15,036 is the magic number. Anything below that, Opsy, you're safe through to the next question. Anything above that, Bassoonist, you are safe through to the next question. Let's find out. The correct answer is... 26,407, which, I mean, you did get the number of years right. It's 72 years and 110 days, roughly speaking, we're looking at there. So you had the number of years down, just unfortunately didn't read the full question because we were going to ask for the full number of days. Man, that was a good guess. Unfortunately, Opsy just didn't read the full question and we have to say goodbye. But you take 10,000 away from for taking 6th place. Very well played, Opsy. Bassoonist, you'll say through to the next question. If Opsy said days, then Sonic would have been out in that case. Well, gifted a spot from the sounds of things, but we will continue on. 5 players left in the game. Good luck. Here is the next question. If you wanted to play the official YouTube music video of Absolutely Story of a Girl by 9 days on loop for 9 days straight, how many times would you need to play it? Answer now. Woohoo! Nat is in with a guess. Tips is in, Kenda's in, Bazuna's in. We're looking for one more. Sonic. You really are riding it thin on these answers here, Sonic. Again, just in time. You've got to be careful. Right, let's put that back up there. Let's start revealing some answers. Nata was first in with 1,200 plays. Then Tipster was in with 4,000 plays. So you take the left and right. Kenda was in with 4,320. Tipsy, you're safe through. Basudis went with 4,000, much like Tipster did. Tipster seems to be tying with other people's answers a lot here. But you're safe through, Basudist. And the last one to come through with Sonic with a variation on Kenda's answer, actually. 3,240. You're safe down the middle. So it leaves us with Nata on 1,200, Kenda on 4,320. That sets our division point at 2760. Anything below that, Nata, you're safe through. Anything above that, Kenda, you are safe through. The correct answer is... $4,051. Yeah, if you take the average of it being like 3 minutes long, then you can probably do a nice guesstimation guess. The video is actually 3 minutes and 11.981 seconds long, according to YouTube DLP and FFmpeg. So you'd be about 40% of the way through the 4,051st playthrough at the 9-day mark. So that is the end of that game there for Nata, unfortunately. But you take 20,000 doots for 5th place. And Kenda, with a good guess there, keeps you in the game. I don't know where all these animations have not worked, but there you go. 3 questions left and 4 players left standing. Oh, here we go, folks. The next question is this. In US dollars, what was the total prize pool for the 2023 World Series of Poker main event? Answer now. What was the total prize pool for the 2023 WSOP main event? We have all our answers in. I suppose the question is, how many zeros dare you add to the end of your total? That's basically what you got to worry about, is how many zeros do you add? That tree fitty. Right, let's reveal your guesses. 4 came in. First one was Tipster with 93 million. Then we got Kenda with 42 million. We actually swap places. Next, we've got Sonic with 25 million. Kenda, you're safe through. And the last guess was Basudis with 15 million. And you take the left side, and means Sonic is now safe. Well, you're all in the same ballpark on magnitude, really. Tipster on the high tens of millions, and Basudis on the low tens of millions. So that sets our division point sort of in the middle of the tens of millions at $54 million. If the answer is below 54 million, Bassoonist is safe through. If it is greater than 54 million, then Tipster is safe through. Have I misremembered something, says Tipster. Each player pays in 10k, so how many players bought in? The correct answer is... That's a really good memory, that tip. 93,399,900. Which doesn't end with a 0000. But yes, 10,043 players entered with $10,000 each, and then 7% of which of that was then reserved for fees and tournament stuff. That makes more sense. So, Tipster, absolutely on the right number of tens of millions. Great guess. In fact, was the closest guess of all. Keeps you in the game. Unfortunately, does mean we have to say goodbye to Bassoonist, meaning you take 35,000 dudes away. You're a fan of real sports, says Bassoonist. Put that one away. Okay, three players left in. We've got 2 more questions. If you're all ready, good luck. Read the question carefully. The characters probably don't matter, but read the question carefully. Here comes the question. Congratulations! You just won the $1.98 beauty show. Assuming Rip Taylor has access to pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, half dollars, and dollar coins, how many different ways can he give you the eponymous cash prize from the coin dispenser on his belt? Answer now. How many different combinations of coins can make up $1.98? Tips is in with a guess. Sonic and Elwood and Kenda with a guess. Woo! Fun fact, Rip Taylor actually dispensed the cash prize from a coin dispenser on the actual show. Well, there you go. It's a difficult question. It's relativity. It's supposed to be difficult, Sonic. It's supposed to be difficult. So, what do you reckon? That's the real question. First guess that came in was Tipster with 98. Next was Kenda with 1,500. So you set the left and right. And the last guess... Oh, that's a different number. Sonic with 1 million. Well, that's a good number of magnitudes different this time round. Kenda, you know what that means. You are safe through in the knowledge that you are through to the final question. So the division point between these two, well, I think we could probably do the math on this quite simply. It's basically $500,000. Anything below 500,049, Tipsy, you're safe through to the final question. Anything above 500,049, Sonic, you are through to the final question. The correct answer is... Yeah, it's all the way back there at 2,492 combinations. All the nominations mentioned in the question were around in 1978 to 1980 when that show aired. There did also used to be a 2-cent coin, but it was discontinued in 1873 due to lack of demand. If it was still around and we added that as a combination option, then you would be skyrocketing up to 59,256 permutations or combinations available to make up to $1.98. So unfortunately, we do have to say goodbye to you, Sonic Elwood. It was just too big a guess, but you take third place, which is 50,000 dues. Absolutely amazing amount to take away there for third place. So the final question is going to be Kenda versus Tipster for all the marbles. Well, one of you is getting 75,000, one of you is getting 100,000. So for additional 25,000 marbles. Good luck to you two. If you're ready, were you paying attention? How many letters were used to write out all the questions in this game, including this one? Answer now. Just the letters. Punctuation has not been counted, I don't believe. Letters have been counted. Need a guess, Kenda? And there's a guess. Well, thankfully, Mr. Vertigo, it's fairly simple to do in Excel. It's fairly simple to do in Excel because you can just do a letter count in strings and then do a sum of that. And that's exactly what Lingo's done. He had a working out sheet that did all of the maths. Obviously, you have to do like uppercasing and that to make sure you count all the right the letters and that. But I do have the full breakdown of all of the letters of all of the questions, including this one. Way too high, says Kenda. Well, Tips is hoping not for a copy of homework situation. Both players think that they have panicked. Well, let's find out. Tipster's answer came through first, with a guess of 3,000. Kenda then came through with a few seconds left, with a guess of 5,000. So, for the final time, you take your spots with a division point at an even 4,000. Below 4,000, Tipster, you are the winner. Above that, Kenda, you are the winner. You would have gone 2,500 without the panic. You would have halved your answer. Well, let's find out. The correct answer is... It's sliding down. It's sliding down even more. Oh, Kenda. If you had guessed half your answer, you would have been the winner. 1,685 letters all told for this entire pack from Lingo Maniac. Kenda, it's a regret, but obviously you're under the pressure on the question. But you still take 75,000 for your final position there in second place. Not to be sniffed at all. But Tipster, what a game you've had. 100,000 as the prize to you, and you are the winner. With a big old label. I should just leave it as that. Just leave it as that. Everything is fine. Anyway, it's supposed to do. It's supposed to be like that. Well done, Tipster, on a great game there. Getting the top prize of 100,000 Dukes, and Kendi, you're just so close. Just so close. If you had just a few more seconds of thinking time, it could have been a very different result. But I must say, thank you, Lingo, for that wonderful pack of questions there, and thank you to Inca for helping proof that pack of relativity this evening. Oh, it's 9:30, but I am kind of done with stream tonight because it's so bloody warm. It's been quite a struggle actually, just concentrating, because it's just that goddamn hot in here. So we're going to be ending the stream momentarily. We will be doing, of course, the wheel content in a moment. And 3 questions, but damn, they're a beaut. It's balmy. It is balmy. So we'll do the wheel in a moment, and then we'll bring the stream to a close. The rest of the weekend we have got in line for you. Not over here necessarily, although I might be streaming during the day tomorrow, doing some dev work on Duke Drop, and or maybe looking at some Hackbox stuff. Maybe I should add a Hackbox to this. I keep meaning to. Then Saturday evening over on Ben's side, Royal_Flush. Do give him a follow. I don't think I actually gave him a follow last time, so I'm going to do that. Give him a follow. He's got well, it's the end of his season actually, so he's got a double buzz off along with a few other games as well, and he's been doing some dev stuff on his own Universal app thing. So yes, Plinko the Quiz, double buzz off, Distinction, and Google That's all happening on his stream at 8 p.m. tomorrow evening. After that, if you're still up at around 1 in the morning, Quarren Stream the Game Show, hosted by Lee, will be on. And then after that, if you're still up after that, then the Wheel After Dark in the Dumpster Lounge will be opening up after Quarren Stream finishes up. Dev is at the airport doing a little hat boxing. Love coding on a flight somehow. You know what, Dev? If I didn't have enough stuff to watch on the in-flight entertainment, I absolutely would be doing some, programming while on those flights, and I actually fully intended on doing so when I did my flying around America. It's just the in-flight entertainment just sated me for the duration of time, and then I just found no time doing the programming anyway. But I definitely could have distracted myself with doing some programming. Yeah, something like that, Dev. Though, of course, with lack of internet also comes lack of documentation, unless you have it downloaded ahead of time, which, of course, nobody has their documentation downloaded ahead of time. I always forget about that particular problem. So, yeah. Dev docs... Oh! Is that a thing? Is that a thing? DevDocs combines multiple API documentation and a fast, organised, and searchable interface. Oh my god! That's a thing I didn't even know. That's crazy. Oh, that's brill. Oh, that is actually brill. Oh. Adding that to my laptop right now. Definitely adding that to my laptop. Oh, goodness me, that's great. Right. Wheel spin. Let's do it. Buttons and things and that. Here we go. I'm loosening up tonight, so it's going to run for a little longer. Where's it going to land? Going to land on... Hey, it's a marble race! We're doing a marble race tonight, folks. So, we're going to give the wheel one more spin to figure out what finishing position is going to pay out 25,000 doots. So, let's give it another spin. Fibonacci, said Polodan. Let's find out. What's it gonna be? Oh, it nearly was as well. Still rolling. It's still rolling. It's well then. It's last place, folks. So you got to be slow, but not so slow that you get eliminated. You have to be the final finisher in order to win 25,000 doots. So, let me load up the good old marble race. I need to find some music to play. Shall I do some more Black Mages? Yes, let's do some more Black Mages is definitely the answer. Yes, play marbles on the stream. Which one shall we go for? Let us go for... Let's go with that one. Yeah, we're definitely going with that one. Oh, yes, we're going with that one. Right, community maps. And we're going to go for... I don't think we've got one from Oni. Let me have a look. Oh, actually, I lie. I do have a track from Oni. So let me load that one up. It's a spinning giant mistake, is what it is. So if you want in on this race, exclamation mark play. That's what you need to do in chat. While you do that, I need to switch the game on. So let me do that. And hopefully marbles will appear when we do this. There, look at that. It's almost like I'm professional or something. Exclamation mark play to get in this race. You need to be the final finisher to get yourself. I don't know if that will.
Play.
I don't know if that will work, Dev, because that's technically not a message. It's a subscription alert. But thank you for the 34 months. Do appreciate that. With the exclamation mark play. Plinko in the sunshine. It does seem to be like that, doesn't it? It's a big old Plinko to start with. With all the usual mainstays, really. So yeah, all you need to do is stay on the track, be slow, be last, but don't get eliminated. That's all you need to do. All you need to do. It's so simple. As I need to turn the music off on Pretzel, so we don't want that music. We instead want some black mages. So let's load up the race. Last few seconds to get in. Exclamation mark play. And here we go. There we are. As I get used to having to do WASD on this new keyboard. Oh, that's quite loud, actually. Let me bring it down slightly. Forgot how loud this version is. It is currently Jerry racing off into the lead with BC and Sonic Elwood at the first checkpoint. Heading their way round the spiral, moving on into part 2 of the track down the stairs. Which way are you going to go? Well, you were hanging on to left, again getting yeeted over to the right. Mark, KS and Jerry going to the left-hand side, though. Over to the water wheel will go most, ignoring the wheel entirely. Going all the way round. Getting a bit of a speed boost. Heading their way down into this sort of funneling area, staging area, with Sonic and Topper currently in the lead. Now, who's at the back? We're currently looking at BC all the way back. You're doing a good delaying tactic here, but remember, you do have to finish the track. If you get burnt up, that does not count as a finish. Moving back on down into the square funnel, and into the funnel, the tunnel screw thing, bore, whatever you call it, arbor. It's Topper in the lead, followed by Ralph and DMC. Again, you don't want to be first place here. You want to be last place. Can you slow yourself down? That's the question. Shadow finding their way off the track. Topper has slowed themselves down, but it's not doing too much. Heading their way down the cylindrical Plinko. Basudis and Sonic Elwood falling off the track. So far, 3 eliminations. Come on, Topper. You need to slow down. You need to slow down. It's going to be... Oh, very tight. There we go. DMC was first finisher. Unfortunately, that doesn't pay out. Got less than a minute. Oh, Jake! What's happened, Jake? Oh, no! Jake has got themselves caught. I don't think they're going to survive. Danny just fallen off the track. Who's at the back right now? It is Cetra. Trying to get past the scooper. Unfortunately, getting scooped. 30 seconds left to complete. I don't know if it's going to be you, Cetra. It's going to be very close, actually. Opsy, Kenda, and Kamikaze got 20 seconds to get over the finishing line. Cetra finding their way down. It could be you. Oh, it's so tight now. Kamikaze is over the line. 10 seconds, Cetra. Can you finish? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Well done, Cetra. To Cetra 4271, getting 25,000 doots for that finish. And at the top there, it was just 200ths of a second between first and second place on DMC and Topper. Vote democracy, says Topper. No, this ain't no randomizer. So fortunately, Sonic, Elwood, Jake, Danny, Shadowmane and Bassoonist all falling off the track there. But Cetra, finishing with a time of 3 minutes and 21, you are the final finisher, and you get to win the prize on the wheel. Just like that. So, that brings us to a close on the stream tonight. Thank you for joining me with some relativity courtesy of Lingo Maniac, and also thank you for playing Brain Teaser earlier on. Who or what or why do I want to raid into? Let's find out. Who is online and who isn't online? So presently, I don't know how long they're on for. They may not be on for too much longer. They are there's only one person currently online on the stream. But if you fancy a bit more wording, then we can go and raid on to Words on the Street. I don't know how long they are intending on staying online for, but they are online tonight. So if you fancy a bit of word action before you finish off tonight, then go and say hi to Words on the Street for us, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy the weather, and I will see you on Wednesday for all sorts of shenanigans. Take care. I'll see you soon. Bye.